All the buzz is on Travis Scott's new album Utopia, but was it really worth the listen or was it kind of a slouch? We'll give our impressions right here today on InCrowd Network. What's up, guys, and welcome back to InCrowd Network. I am Aaron. So, as I mentioned in the beginning, I'm here to just give my impressions on the new Travis Scott album, Utopia, because he's a bit of an artist that disappears. He's bubbling in the news, but not for things like his music. And then when he does show up, he shows up in a big way. And he definitely does that with this album. This album has a ton of features. It's got a ton of producers. It sounds really good in terms of the mixing and the overall process to create this album. You can tell that a lot of money was put into it. That's one thing that I'm coming away from as I'm listening and I'm digesting this album. You can clearly tell that a lot of money was put into this. And you could just tell just from the feature list. We've got West Side Gun, Playboy Cardi, Drake, Beyonce. I mean, it is a full list. We've got The Weeknd, Sway Lee. He spent a lot of money on the features. A lot of varied beats. One of the things that really didn't catch me off guard, but it was still kind of surprising and nice to see, is the amount of beat switches. You can only assume how many producers work per track, because it seems to me like almost every track has one sound and then it switches into a different sound, giving you a completely different vibe on the same track. Normally, Travis Scott is a bit more of a melodic artist, a lot of auto-tune melodies, but not with this album. Don't get me wrong, he does that on this album, but it's not as much as you would have heard on previous records. He does quite a bit of rapping this time around, and I'll have to say I'm not disappointed by it. Travis Scott isn't a lyricist. Let's call a spade here. But when he does rap, the kid knows how to rap. He knows how to spit bars. He knows how to deliver cadence. He knows how to stay on beat. He's good at rapping. He's just not a lyricist. And he does that on quite a bit of tracks on this album. My personal favorite track is My Eyes. I love the way that track starts off with a bit of eerie melodies, and then it just switches the beat and it's just him just onslaught rapping. I really did like this album. I'm still digesting it, which is why I'm doing an impressions and not an actual review of the album, because it is such a long album, clocking in at an hour and 15 minutes. It's a lot to digest. It's difficult to listen to these albums and give an opinion right away because there's just so much going on. I put this album almost on the level of something like Donda. Donda was such a big, expensive, feature-heavy album that you needed quite some time to be able to really ingest an album like that and be able to say how you felt about it. And that's how I feel with this album. It is not a bad album, and there's no stretch of the imagination here that's going to put this in a bad album category. It absolutely is a good album. However, it does take some time to listen to things like this. But I will say, just my impression of it, this is sounding like a very good project. It sounds like a very good delivery from Travis Scott himself. It definitely puts him more in his rapper lane than it does in his melodic lane. But you know, you're going to expect an artist to grow. And I will say also, if you've heard the Yeezus album from Kanye West, you can tell that there's a lot of influence from that album on this very album. There's tracks on here that sound like Skinhead, Black Skinhead, if you remember that track. It just the beat, the drums, very similar. Even the flow of that, it sounds extremely similar. But let me know what you guys think. Me personally, I'm walking away with a positive impression of this, and I'm still going to need to listen more to know exactly how I feel about it. But go ahead, sound off in the comments below. Let me know what you guys think of this album. Do you think this is a good album by Travis Scott? Do you think he gave us some weak sauce on this album? Go ahead, sound off. Let me know in the comments. Please do me the favor, hit the like, hit the subscribe button. Check out all of our various avenues that we've got. We've got TikTok, we've got Instagram, we've got YouTube, we've got an X, formerly Twitter. So check it all out because the content continues to flow over here at InCrowd. Again, I am Aaron. This was my impressions of Utopia by Travis Scott, and I am out of here till next time, guys. Peace.